What's happening, people? Welcome back to GavGoesIn. So yeah, just carrying on, guys. The next gen 50. Done Rodrigo Mora. Now we're going to look at someone that might be a bit more familiar to people. Someone that's made his debut for PSG at 16 years of age. Obviously coming through their youth system. I think again an international for France as well. And I think a lot was tipped of, obviously, Warren Zaire Emery. A lot was tipped of him when he came through at PSG at 16. But I think such as the quality of PSG's midfield, you think of the likes of Vitinha, who's one of the best midfielders in the game right now, Fabian Ruiz and João Neves, who are two very, very good midfielders, And I think Zaire Emery could find himself a bit unlucky that he's got three midfielders there that as a combination are the best three in Europe right now. And again, Zaire Emery's still young. I think he's only, 19 years of age now. Made his debut at 16. And I do think he's still got a big future in the game, And as I said, he's been capped by France as an international. Can't remember how many caps he has. But yeah, he's obviously going to be a future midfielder for them. But I think he's finding game time hard to come by, which is... it's no stain on him, really. It's just that how good that midfield is. But I think, personally, from what I've seen of Zaire Emery, I do think he's got a lot to work with, man. I think in terms of his composure on the ball, his change of pace in midfield, his tenacity, I think he brings a lot to that PSG team, Whether he's got to move away from PSG to get regular game time, I'm not too sure, because I think it might be something that might be on the cards, but I think if you're looking at an injury to one of those three, then he's going to be the next in line to come in. And obviously you've got Seni Mayulu as well, someone that I've done a next gen 50 on as well. He's another one coming through the youth ranks as well. So you've got two players, that are from the youth and are good enough to play in PSG's midfield. But I think with Zaire Emery, as I said, if I'm looking at like for like, I'm looking at João Neves as someone that he'll possibly be competing with in that midfield area. But as I said, from what I've seen of him, his driving runs, his tenacity, his composure on the ball, I think he needs to improve his finishing, but he's got a very good strike on him as well. But in terms of his finishing, I think he does need to improve that from midfield. And maybe that might be something he needs to focus on if that's a case where he might try and get regular game time, But I think he's definitely one for the future, And again, if he was to leave PSG are going to ask for a lot of money. I wouldn't be surprised if PSG asks for at least 80 mil from him, which, again, due to his age, the fact that he's an international, the fact that they probably won't want to sell him as well, I think it's something that they would look at as fair, But, yeah, as I said, man, I think he's a very good player. He's someone that I wouldn't mind having at Man United in that midfield, but again, he's going to cost a lot of money. But again, for his age, he's very experienced for his age. At 19, as I said, made his debut at 16. So he's had 27 appearances in the Champions League for PSG, with 5 goals and assists combined. 12 French Cup appearances with 1 goal. And then he got 81 Ligue 1 appearances with a return of 10 GA. And as I said, for someone of his age, he's had a lot of football. But I think over the last season or so, he hasn't had as much football as he probably would have liked, and for good reason. As I said, that midfield three there, that's going to be a hard midfield to get in for anyone, such as the relationships and the combinations that those three offer. So yeah, as I said, man, Zaire Emery is a good player in the making for me. I think it's one to watch, because does he get unsettled if he's not getting regular game time? Because if we're looking at the World Cup coming up this summer, or next season, 2026, is he actually going to be in the squad? This is the thing, because if we look at France's midfield now, you've got the likes of Eduardo Camavinga, Tchouaméni, who we would expect to be in there if they're fit and getting game time. You've got Adrien Rabiot as well. If Deschamps is still there, then you've got Kefaran Thuram as well. I think Youssef Fofana at AC Milan, he was in there as well, you know. Guendouzi, you know. And then you got Paul Pogba. Again, Paul Pogba's back playing now with Monaco. And Paul Pogba coming back is ideal because he'll be eyeing that France squad for the World Cup. And if he's playing regularly for Monaco, he'll definitely be back in there. So yeah, Zaïre-Emery, again, he's got a lot to do, man, to get into that squad. And you'll think if that midfield three of Vitinha, João Neves and Fabian Ruiz will be the favoured three going forwards, where does he actually figure in? So, you know, could he ask for a loan deal? Who knows? Who knows? But again, he's someone for me that is a star in the future for central midfield, definitely. You know, a box-to-box midfielder. But where does his career go this season? Does he get regular game time? Or does he have to go and on a loan? Maybe a permanent, who knows? But guys, let me know what you think about Warren Zaire Emery. Do you think he needs to go on loan or try and push through a permanent deal? Or should he just bide his time at PSG and fight for his place? Let me know. Sub to the channel, smash the like button, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Take it easy.